Alright guys, so today we have for you a 7-minute lower body mobility flow. This is a great routine that you can throw into your mornings when you're straight out of bed, or in the evenings to wind down before you go to sleep. We hope you enjoy it. Let's jump straight in. Alright guys, so we're going to start with bootstraps. So with your feet underneath your hips, I want you to keep your legs straight, reach down, grab onto your shoes, and then pull your hips into a squat, lift that chest up, and then relax, push your hips as high as you can. Don't let go of your feet, and we're going to repeat this 10 reps. And let's dial in the breathing. Inhale as we come down, exhale as we go up. Let's see if we can get those hips a little bit higher, the legs a little bit straighter with each rep. Alright guys, last one, and we're going to keep our hips high this time when we finish. Now from here, let your hands rest on the floor. If you got to bend your knees a wee bit, that's okay. We're going to rotate our hands around to the left. Take a big deep breath in and relax. And then we're going to switch it. Let the fingers draw a semicircle along the floor. So we're just getting a nice stretch into the lower back as we go side to side. We're going to go for 5 reps in each direction. Alright guys, perfect. Stand up tall. Let's bring the feet a little bit wider. So let's aim for shoulder width or even wider. Toes pointing straight ahead. I want you to reach down and grab onto your shoes again. Now from here, with the elbows to the inside of the thighs, I want you to push your knees out really hard with your elbows. Rest your hips down really low, and then just rock side to side. So we should be getting a nice stretch in around the groin here. If you're not really feeling it, we can always go a wee bit wider with the feet. Just check in with those toes and make sure they're pointing straight ahead, and that'll make a big difference. We're going to go about another 15 seconds here. Just try to pull the hips forward, lift your chest up as we press those knees out. Alright, we're going to give these legs a little bit of a breather, so we're going to sit on our butt now. And with our feet shoulder width, we're simply going to drop our knees down to one side, so we're in this 90-90 position. And sitting up as tall as we can, we're going to just roll the knees from one side to the other. And we're going to go for 10 hip rotations. Now you'll notice as I do this, I'm keeping my feet in contact with the floor, and I'm just rolling on the back of the heel. So what we're doing here is working internal and external rotation off the hips as we go from one side to the other. Alright guys, for this next piece we're going to need to be on our knees. So, sitting up nice and tall with our laces facing down, we're going to put our hands on our lower back, squeeze our butt really hard, push your hips forward, and try and push your chest up to the roof. And we should be getting a nice stretch down through the hip flexors and the front of the quads. And we're also actually working in a little bit of plantar flexion in the ankles as well. Now if you're a little bit more flexible, you should be able to reach back and grab onto your heels or your legs. Once again, let's focus on hips forward, butt squeezed, chest up. Ten more seconds. Let's get the hips pushed forward as much as we can. Keep squeezing that butt. And slowly rise out of that. Okay guys, let's work dorsiflexion of the ankles. So we're going to pop back up into a squat. And we're going to start with our heels on the floor. And all we're going to do is then rock forward and touch our knees off the floor. And we're going to go forward and back for 10 reps. Now, if you need help with balance or you have really tight ankles, you might have a hard time doing this without putting your hands on the floor. That's fine. You can just pop your hands in front for a little bit extra support. So what we're doing here is just trying to open up the front of the ankles, working a little bit of dorsiflexion, which is a big player when it comes to squat and mobility. All right, last one. Okay guys, let's pop back onto your butt. Now for this next one, we're going to do a butterfly stretch. So we're going to put our feet together. We're going to grab onto your ankles. Pull your heels in nice and close to your hips. And then as we sit up really tall, we're going to use our arms to push your knees down to the side. And we're just going to pulse in and out of a stretch. And the goal here is to be able to get your knees to touch the floor. Now the closer we can get our heels to your hips, the more upright we can be, the better. And then just slightly lean forward as you pulse into that stretch. Okay guys, let's come out of that. For this next one, let's pop into a push-up position. Now from here, we're going to enter a pigeon pose. So kick your right foot up to your left hand, drop the knee to the floor, sit up nice and tall. And from here, we're going to focus on sliding our hips back, trying to get this butt cheek on the outside as close to the floor as we can. And we're just going to relax into it, so we're opening up the glutes and we're working on the hips. We're just going to hold this for a few more breaths. Alright guys, great work. Let's switch sides. Kick back into that push-up position. Left foot to right hand. Drop the knee to the floor. If this is giving you a little bit of trouble or you can't really get the knee to the floor, we can always pull the heels down towards the hips a little bit more. And then once again, slide those hips back. Try and push your hips down towards the floor. And just remain here. Final few breaths. And you can kick out of that. Alright guys, and that is our morning mobility routine. We hope you enjoyed it and we see you again.